Me being in the finance industry, as a loan originator, I have to kind of get a whole picture. And so one of the questions that I see a lot of other agents miss completely is asking if they have any dependents. And not only that, but what are the ages of those dependents? And you might be very well thinking, well, dependents are just kids. Well, it's not just kids, because we have to understand that my culture, I'm Filipino, and you might agree because your culture is probably the same. Oftentimes, our clients are actually taking care of their parents. And so their parents now live with them. Or even if they don't, they provide some sort of financial support to maybe their parents or maybe even siblings. Whatever it is, we have to account for these things, because let's just say if it were kids and we were to understand that their ages were, let's say 3 and 5. And then you consider also the fact that, they've owned the house for 3 years, right? Technically, this house is all those kids know. Not only that, but if in the event you find out that both of them are working, doesn't that create more leverage for you? Because they have to be paying some sort of daycare costs or some sort of fee to watch their kids, whether it's maybe an after school sports or some sort of program, or maybe even a babysitter. Someone is getting paid to watch the children. But oftentimes what you'll find out is that one of the couple is a homemaker. And again, that creates leverage because now you know that there's only one source of income. And so it's very, very important to understand that if your prospect has dependents, and you need to be very specific. So, do you have any dependents? They're immediately going to think if they have kids, right? If they do, say, okay, how many? And they tell you 3. Say, okay, what are their ages, right? This is very important because at certain ages, there are certain costs that are associated with it. So if you have like a 15-year-old, at some point, that 15-year-old kid is going to be driving pretty soon. Parents are understanding this. You don't even have to be a parent, just understand that that's just part of living. And if in the event that the kids were, let's say 2, 3, or 5 years old, those kids are essentially going to be going to school. Thus, there comes more commutes. And with gas prices nowadays, you have to really kind of put 2 and 2 together, right? Now, let's say if they're between the ages of 5 to 16, there could very well be sports that these kids are a part of. And that is a cost. Cost is always associated with, things that children want to partake in, whether it's sports, activities, leagues. Not only that, but also the commute and the enrollment fees and the equipment fees. You'd be amazed how expensive these things are.